Oh. You too, Fluttershy.
I would get into it, but that's a huge spoiler in the story. Hello everyone, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen, and welcome to another edition of my My Little Pony Vlogs for Season 2. Today, I'm talking about Hurricane Fluttershy, written by Cindy Morrow. You did it, Cindy. You did something I didn't think would happen. After the atrocity that was putting your hoof down, I had no respect for Fluttershy, and she was in my most hated category for quite a while. But after watching this episode, she's out of the hated and in my least favorites at least, which is a start because the thing with me, guys, I have different lists. I have a best, a favorite, a least, and a worst. And Fluttershy, at least after this episode, got out my worst and into my least. And with later seasons, she would get out of there and get back into my favorites. So this episode was the episode that brought Fluttershy back in the good graces with me. And it's for good reason. This episode is phenomenal in many cases. So let's get into it. The episode starts with basically Rainbow Dash handing out flyers to all of the Pegasi in Ponyville because of an important meeting that's going to be going on. So later on, we go through the episode and we see all the Pegasi getting ready to gather in the Ponyville library. And then, of course, we get the joke as you saw at the beginning of the episode. And like I said, I'm not getting into that subject based on Fallout Equestria because that's a huge spoiler. So read the story for yourself. So anyways, we get into the idea of how does Cloudsdale get their water. Basically, they get their water through the Pegasi, who basically cause a jumbo tornado to cause the water to come up from like different water reserves all around Equestria to go up to the city of Cloudsdale. That is kind of interesting in many cases. It shows how much ingenuity the Pegasi have as a race. Because, like I said, everything is done with some things are done with magic. The fact that Pegasi create a tornado to get the water to Cloudsdale, it shows that they are pretty self-sufficient. Basically, what we're told is that they need about 800 wing power, which is enough to get them the tornado going. So basically, Rainbow Dash talks about that she not only wants them to get this tornado to work, but she also wants to break the record done by Philadelphia, which was around 910 wing power. Of course, in this episode, we also get the introduction of Snowflake, or now known as Bulk Biceps, but you know what I mean. And of course, we see in this episode that Fluttershy is not really comfortable with this situation. I mean, we see where she tries to hide at the beginning. Then, of course, she's being very meek here. And then at the end, she runs away. So we go on to the next day where we're seeing all the Ponyville Pegasi basically training and getting themselves ready for the tornado duty. Rainbow Dash goes to Fluttershy's cottage where she's basically trying to act like she's sick when in reality she's not sick. So Rainbow Dash catches her on all her lies, and then this is where we get an admittedly cool scene. Rainbow Dash would not have done this in earlier seasons if you ask me. She actually tried to comfort Fluttershy at one point. I don't think Rainbow Dash would have done that in Season 1. This shows that Rainbow Dash's character has developed over time, that she's become a little bit more understanding, which is good. That's a good thing. So Fluttershy admits that she can't do this because she has public stage fright. I fully understand this. Because even if it's not a competition or something like that, you'll still get afraid of doing something like this, like doing something public. It's a really hard thing to handle if you really think about it. Like, even though it's not a competition or anything like that, and you're not winning anything, it's still a nerve-wracking experience because you feel like if you mess up, you're going to mess it up for everybody. And that's how Fluttershy felt. And considering one of them, and her fear is shown in a flashback that she has. And of course, the line where, she gets told, Fluttershy, Fluttershy, Fluttershy. I don't remember. Pretty sure someone can put the comments down. Fluttershy can hardly fly. There we go. So, of course, Rainbow Dash tries to talk to Fluttershy again. Like, first she gets a little aggressive, but then she calms down and tells her that she needs as much wing power and help as possible to do this. But, of course, Fluttershy says that she can't. But she decides, alright, I'm in. So, Fluttershy goes to basically she goes back to where all the Ponyville Pegasi are training. And then basically we see Twilight basically talk about how they're going to do this. They're going to measure their wing power on a certain scale. Apparently, what Rainbow Dash wants is that after Thunderlang shows his wing power and then Rainbow Dash shows hers, she says that she wants all the Ponyville Pegasi to at least have a 10.0 wing power. So she wants, all the Ponyville Pegasi to have a 10.0 wing power so they can break the record. Fully understandable. So, of course, we go through more of the training, and then Fluttershy's turn finally turns up. And she seems to do well at first, but then she hears some laughing, and this causes her to go through her, psychological trauma again, and she barely does, I think 0.5? I think she does 0.5 wing power. And this, of course, causes her to become a little sad, and the laughing starts to return to her to the point that she runs away and feels like she can't do it. So she feels like completely useless and decides instead of to continue trying, she gives out. So she seeks comfort in her animal friends, and one of her animal friends actually does help her, where telling her exactly the same advice that she told that animal about never giving up and to believe in yourself. So we get this really cool Rocky-esque sports montage where Fluttershy's trying her best to improve her wing power to become better. And then she comes back to the track to do, to try to course again, and she does a little better, not a lot. She only clocks in at 2.5, which is a massive improvement over her last one, but it's still too low for, the standard. Sorry, not 2.5, 2.3, I believe. But that's the thing, it's still a massive improvement over her last one. But she feels very sad about this, and she feels very distraught because she put all this time and effort into training to getting herself better to do this, and she failed. I see this as a very humbling scene. This is one thing I like about this show. They don't reinforce too many stereotypes. Normally with a stereotype like this, do the sports training and now you're able to compete with the rest of them. No, they didn't do that with Fluttershy. Instead, they made it out that even with the training, she still didn't stack up. That's a very humbling message right there if you really think about it. That even with all of this training, even with all of your work, even as hard as you work, you could still fail. You could still fall short. That's what this scene basically showed us. And I liked it. I liked it a lot for this. So, of course, Fluttershy gives up again and says she can't do it. Though Twilight tells Rainbow Dash that, they have enough Pegasi to do this, to get the 1,000 wing power that they want. Though Rainbow Dash shows some compassion towards Fluttershy, saying, yeah, but if only there was a way to help Fluttershy out of the dumps. That's the thing. Rainbow Dash shows that she's a good friend of Fluttershy. I like this. So the day of the tornado comes around, and Spitfire of the Wonderbolts comes in because she's supposed to be supervising the event. So Rainbow Dash gets ready to start the tornado, and there is some missing Pegasi. Thunderlang was sick. And then there were more Pegasi that got sick. This was actually a subtle plot device that was going on, where Thunderlang was coughing at some point in the episode, and then another one known as Blossomforth was coughing at one point. Basically showing that there was a sickness going around, and I think it was called the hay fever they got. And because of all of the Pegasi getting sick, they're not going to reach the 1,000. They're not going to reach the 1,000 wing power. Hell, they're not even going to reach the 800 wing power they need to do the tornado. So basically, Rainbow Dash has a choice here: pack it up, and try again another time, or go for it. But Rainbow Dash decides we're going for it. I don't care about the record anymore. Cloudsdale needs the water. We're going for it. So the Pegasi go for the tornado, and at some point, sorry. So the Pegasi go for the tornado, and it seems to go well enough, but they stop at one point. They can't raise it up. They can't raise the wing power to a certain point. Until, everything starts to fall apart, and they all crash into each other, and the tornado falls apart. So, of course, Rainbow Dash wants to try again, but Twilight warns her that if she tries again, and they break apart like that, a lot of them could get injured. Badly injured. Rainbow Dash knows this, but she wants to keep going. She's not allowing herself to stop. She wants to get the water to the clouds there. She even says, like, if I'm going down fighting. So Rainbow Dash gets her group to try again, and they seem to do a little better this time, where their wing power is a little higher. Then Fluttershy comes in saying that she's here to provide moral support, but of course, Twilight tells Fluttershy that many of the Pegasi have gotten sick, and they may not be able to do this tornado. Till at one point, the number stops at one point, like, you know, the wing power number stops, and Twilight tells Fluttershy that she should head in there and help out. Fluttershy at this point is like, I can't. I'm not going to be able to stack up. I don't have enough. And Twilight keeps telling her, like, you have to. If you don't try, they're going to fail again. And she even says, like, do it for Cloudsdale. Do it for Ponyville. Do it for Rainbow Dash. Like, you got to do it. And of course, she finally does give in and goes for it. At first, she seems to do well enough, as she is helping the counter move closer to 800. But then she starts, she starts to fight her demons again, and starts to hear the laughter and the chanting and the insulting. So at one point, she finally breaks it and decides to do as best as she can. And she actually does do enough that it causes the tornado to come out. They get the 800 wing power that they need. And luckily, they're able to get the water to Cloudsdale. So they were able to do it thanks to Fluttershy, which is a good thing. Of course, Rainbow Dash gets complimented by Spitfire for, being able to do this, but Rainbow Dash gives the credit to Fluttershy, which I can understand. Even though Fluttershy did not have a lot of wing power compared to the other Pegasi, it was her contribution that helped them get this done in the first place. And then we get the moral of the episode, like, no matter how small your contribution is, you have to try. You have to try, no matter what. You can't be afraid of failure. You have to try, even if your contribution is small. You can't just let yourself give up. I love this moral. I really do, because I'm like this as well. Like, I'm even like this with my videos. Like, I tell people all the time, I don't care if my videos never get popular. I don't care if people don't watch my videos. As long as I get that one person to say, you did a good video, or I liked your video, or I agree with you, or something like that. Or give me some advice. As long as I have that one person watching, giving me advice, giving me some praise and stuff like that, I'm fine. I don't, I'm fine. I don't care if I never reach, any of the higher numbers with my subscribers. As long as I have that one person telling me they like my videos, or my videos help them out on a bad day, I'm cool. Which shows me that even though my contribution to doing YouTube videos is small, it still has an impact to some people. So yeah, Hurricane Fluttershy. Love this episode. This is a great episode in many aspects. However, and I know people are going to hate me for this, this is not going to end up on my top 5 favorites. Yeah, shocker. But there are 6 other episodes I like a little more than Hurricane Fluttershy. And you'll find this out when I do my top 5 favorite and top 5 least favorites. Alright, guys. That's all I really need to say on this front. So until next time, guys, I'm Keen947, aka Wolfkeen. Hope you enjoyed this edition of my My Little Pony Vlogs for Season 2. Till next time, guys. Take care.